All right, there we go. Hey guys, I'm Aaron. Happy Tuesday. I know it's been a while since I've seen. Sorry, but I have with you. So let's get into it. Hopefully, I can get this to work. I want it to be big, so I'm gonna get it for you. All right. So today we're talking about the United States divided. Um, so we're going to start with 45's 2020 campaign policy seem to be hatred, division, lies, and freeing ASAP Rocky. Why he thinks that is something that is crucial to the African American population, I have no idea. But we're going to start with that, and then we'll go into some of the more serious issues in just a minute. However, before we get all the way into it, please make sure you hit the thumbs up and like the video. Leave your comments throughout. I will address any comments at the end because with the screen sharing, I can't see the comments right now. But go ahead and leave them, and I'll address them for you shortly. But let's get into it. So we're going to start with ASAP Rocky, which he's a rapper, an irrelevant rapper, really. But Donald Trump seems like, feels like this is something relevant to us, and that we really care about ASAP Rocky being locked up in Sweden after some kind of scuffle or something. I don't know. But here's why Black people don't care about ASAP Rocky. During the time that Ferguson took place, these were his comments in regards to it. So he said, "I'm just going to stay Black and die. Why? Because I'm Black. So every time something happens because I'm Black, I got to stand up. What the F am I? Al Sharpton now? I'm ASAP Rocky. I did not sign up to be no political activist. I don't want to talk about no F in Ferguson and stuff because I don't live over there. I live in Soho and Beverly Hills. I can't relate. Therefore, we can't relate to you, ASAP Rocky." Now, the recent targets of number 45, first of all, started with the Squad. And in case you're not familiar with the Squad, they are Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez of New York, Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, Rashida Tlaib of Michigan, and Ayanna Pressley of Massachusetts. He started out with these tweets to go back to where they came from, implying for them to go back to their native countries versus their actual cities that they belong to. And 3 of the 4 women were actually born in the United States. Ilhan Omar, naturalized citizen, of Somalia. She came here seeking refuge and she applied for citizenship legally and all of those good things. But one of the things that forget or not understand, and probably he was elected, that with these 4 congresswomen and congressmen and women in general, they are voted into office by people that want them there. There is no technicality to get them there. They actually have to run a campaign, and the constituents of their respective districts vote yay or nay for them to be there. So these are people that we actually want to be in office versus, how things go with the White House, where, there are technicalities that can put somebody in office who did not win the popular vote. All right, we'll move on. His next attack was on Elijah Cummings, who is on the oversight committee. And he's out of Maryland. So he launched a series of tweets attacking Elijah Cummings' district and Baltimore as a whole, basically saying that no human being would want to live there. He implies that Cummings is corrupt, taking part in corruption and stealing money and things like that. And he says that if he spent more time in Baltimore, maybe he could help clean up this very dangerous and filthy place. Talking about his district is a disgusting rat and rodent infested mess. Let's pause on that. A side note is that that Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has a series of apartments here, which are infested with rats and roaches, confirmed. But he's not going to talk about that. He wants to talk about Elijah Cummings. But all right, we're going to continue. With both of these, all of these Congress people that he's attacking, obviously they're Democrats, and they're also pressing the issue for 45 to address. And he seems to take issue with people that, quote unquote, have issues with America. Because when it comes to the Congresswomen, they have a series of things called policies, which you typically want to have when you're in office. You want to have policies and agendas to address issues in your district or for what you're responsible for. I'm sure he doesn't understand this concept, but generally that's how political office works. That's why we put people in office, is to address issues. And also, this man ran on a campaign entitled Make America Great Again. And again would imply that currently it's not. So if you can understand that there are issues in America that need to be fixed and addressed and things that need to be corrected, why can't anybody else understand that? And for these four Congresswomen that are basically saying the same thing, why are you attacking them? And secondly, where are your policies? Beyond hatred, racism, division, where are your policies? All right. Next on the list was Al Sharpton. Again, this is where Donald Trump really does not have his pulse on the finger of the African American society, because for some of us, Al Sharpton is kind of hit or miss. Because, he had that whole thing where he might have been a rat and whatnot. We know him as, he may have been involved with like the FBI and being a snitch and things like that. But we also know him as a civil rights advocate and marching with Dr. Martin Luther King and being at the face of some of these Black Lives Matter movements and things like that. So, but this is not really going to affect Black people the way he thinks it is. And you messing with the wrong one, because Al Sharpton is the one to give you the business, period. Whether you like Al Sharpton or not, he gonna make you think. He ain't just gonna, roll over and duck off or whatever. And, so Trump says, I've known Al for 25 years. We went to fights with him and Don King, always got along well. He loved Trump. He would ask me for favors often. Al is a con man, a troublemaker, always looking for a score, just doing his thing. Must have intimidated Comcast and NBC, hates whites and cops. We know that not to be true, but Al Sharpton took care of it himself with this response. Trump says, I'm a troublemaker and con man. I do make trouble for bigots. If he really thought I was a con man, he would want me in his cabinet. All right. That's what I'm saying. If you're going to pick a fight, you need to know who you picking a fight with. Because Al Sharpton, regardless of how you feel about him, he ain't no punk. So, he going to come with the whole arsenal if you come for him. So proceed with caution. Nevertheless, we'll continue. Oh, so in response to all of these racist remarks and everything else that's been going on from the White House, let's take a look at the Republican responses to it. Here we go. Insert crickets. Let's take a minute and read all of these responses. Okay, we're done. So last Wednesday, July 24th, Robert Mueller gave his report on the Russian investigation. And a few key points to take away from it quickly in case you didn't sit through the whole 7 hours. For the most part, I did. I watched the morning and the afternoon. But these are the main points that I got from it. Number one, while this report does not conclude that the president committed a crime, it also does not exonerate him. So, of course, immediately following the conclusion of the testimony or whatever, Trump got on there and talked about, he's been cleared and exonerated and no collusion and this, that, the third, or whatever. That's not true. Because now the report did not address collusion, because technically collusion is not a legal term or a criminal term anyway. And that's what they were looking for. So for him to say that there was no collusion, that's kind of made up. And Mueller and his team, not Mueller, Mueller and his team discovered multiple acts by the president that were capable of exerting undue influence over law enforcement investigations, including the Russian interference and obstruction investigations. Russia was involved in the 2016 election. Trump and his team was aware of it. And the very next day, the Republicans blocked an election security bill. So that's their response. That's how much they care about the democratic process of America. As a result of the Mueller report, started initiating impeachment proceedings, possible. So prior to the report, less than 70 Democrats supported impeachment. Afterwards, the number has gotten up to about 109, as of yesterday, anyway. So for those of you that are not clear on impeachment proceedings, according to Wikipedia, they gave a great definition and explanation because I wasn't clear. So impeachment in the United States is a process by which the lower house of a legislature brings charges against a civil officer of government for crimes alleged to have been committed, analogous to the bringing of an indictment by a grand jury. At the federal level, this is at the discretion of the House of Representatives. Most impeachments have concerned alleged crimes committed while in office, though there have been a few cases in which officials have been impeached and subsequently convicted for crimes committed prior to taking office. The impeached official remains in office until a trial is held. That trial and their removal from office, if convicted, is separate from the act of impeachment itself. Analogous to a trial before a judge and jury, these proceedings are conducted by upper house of the legislature, which at the federal level is the Senate. So that's just an explanation of the impeachment proceedings, if that takes place, so you understand exactly what an impeachment is. So to be clear, the actual impeachment does not remove him from office or, the president, period, whoever it is. There would have to be a trial after the impeachment is confirmed. All right, so for those of you not aware, today starts round 2 of the debates on night 1. Starting with night 1 now, tonight. And then tomorrow you'll have the second round of the debates. Current standings as of yesterday, Biden is in the lead at 34%. Bernie Sanders is at 20%. Elizabeth Warren at 12%. Kamala Harris, 9%. Pete Buttigieg at 5%, and Beto O'Rourke, I always have a hard time with his name, is at 4%. So tonight, we will see Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg, Beto O'Rourke, Amy Klobuchar, Marianne Williamson, John Delaney, John Hickenlooper, Tim Ryan, and Steve Bullock. Tomorrow, we will see Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Julian Castro, Cory Booker, I can't remember her first name, Gillibrand, Bill de Blasio, Andrew Yang, Jay Inslee, Tulsi Gabbard, and I forgot Bennett's first name. But those will be televised on CNN starting at 8 p.m. You can watch it on CNN.com if you want to watch it online, if you're not able to get to a TV or if you don't have cable. And it will be free. And that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to go over today. So the things that I've been for these past couple weeks is preparing my booth at the flea market. So this here is my sign. That's the sign that's on display at the booth. And here is what the booth looks like. So we have the coloring books done by my stepfather, William Arnold. And signs, cell phone accessories, and then these Rockwell plates. So this is what the store the booth currently looks like. I had a grand opening this weekend, which went pretty well. I'm looking forward to it growing. So I'm trying my, entrepreneurial hand right now. Yeah, it's something small. And then we also have the fragrances down there they're like off-brand, or I guess you call them knockoffs or whatever, but I like them. And it was pretty good. I look forward to next weekend. I'll keep you posted on that. And that pretty much concludes everything that I wanted to cover. Don't forget, we are on all of the platforms of social media: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at I am Aaron Bull. And of course, if you want to send me an email, again, I am Aaron Bull at gmail.com. Let me get this. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now because we're. There we go. Sylvia Jones, congratulations. Thank you for congratulating me on the opening of my store. Like I said, it's a lovely market booth, but it's my test run at my entrepreneurial thing. I've had a couple of different things that I've tried, so I'm gonna keep trying, keep rattling my can. But that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to go over. As always, thank you so much for your time and your support. And I will probably be doing another video either this weekend, let me see, the debates, or today and Wednesday. So I'm going to try and do a video on Thursday with the feedback regarding the debates and let you know what I thought and see what you thought about it. So take some notes. Let me know who you're looking at, who you have in mind. Right now, to be honest, I think it's too many candidates to kind of nail it down. I know that I'm personally still rooting for Elizabeth Warren. A lot of people make fun of her because she has a plan for everything, which she literally does. But not only does she have a plan, she can lay it out for you immediately. She didn't have to, find the paper or look it up or get back to you or just kind of generalize it. She can run it down. And that's what we need. Also, in closing, please make sure that you watch the debates. I know that, it's a lot of things going on in politics right now. It's a lot to keep an eye on, especially when you have about 20, 24 candidates in the Democratic Party. But we're going to have to figure out something. Also, make sure that we're paying attention for the Black agenda. They have to have an agenda specifically for us, because what we are witnessing in this day and age right now is because we have continued to accept people going into office without an agenda specifically for us. And what happens is that they will create one. Like, for example, 45 thinking that Black people are really concerned with ASAP Rocky being free. That's not a big deal. He's a rapper. He has money. And, he couldn't relate to Black Lives Matter. We can't relate to him. We are going through things in our own cities, in our hometowns that are real, and if he can't understand that, maybe you can figure it out in Sweden. I don't know. But nevertheless, like I said, I didn't want to keep you all for too long. Don't forget round 1 of the second round. So I guess tonight is the first night of the second round of the debates that starts at 8 p.m. on CNN. And again, you can watch it online at CNN.com if you don't have cable. I look forward to talking with you all soon. As always, thank you so much for your support. Please be sure to share this video with your friends. Like, share, comment, all of those good things. And I will see you guys soon. Have a great day. I am Aaron Bull.